Well, we're going to use infrared imaging, but we're probably not going to need infrared imaging for all of this. It's obvious, this knee wall right in here, and some people call them cripples, but pony walls, sometimes they call it pony walls, knee wall, but it's obvious we're missing our insulation right there. That's a heat sink. We're also missing insulation on our pull down ladder, another heat sink. We were talking about, my client and I were having discussions about skylights being a heat sink. Well, if this ladder's not insulated, that's a heat sink, and it's directly over the thermostat, is right there in the hallway. We're missing some insulation here. We can see that our insulation's dirty. We're supposed to have a depth marker. I see one depth marker right there that's useless. Another depth marker that's useless. So just being here isn't enough. Okay, they're supposed to be measuring the depth of your insulation. They're not doing that. We got radiant panel OSB boards, just conventionally framed. Let's see if this supports me. Moving towards the front of the house, that would be west for our conversations. And looking in here, and I'm kind of moving along. I'll work my way back, I guess. I keep seeing things. I try to get closer to them. I see other things. This window does not have pan flashing in it. Alright. Coming across here. You're not supposed to be able to step on electric cables. You want people stepping on your electric cables? I don't want people stepping on my electric cables. Does that look like it's very thoughtful? In a good and workmanlike manner? No, I don't. This window also does not have pan flashing to keep the water out of your house. There we go. See that? That's over the front porch. We don't need insulation right there. Now, when this insulation was installed or placed, it was smooth like a fresh snow. And now it's got all these little trails running through there. People didn't make those trails. Mice made those trails. Let's see if I can find my way back out of here. That's interesting. This is in regard to the fireplace chimney. This is the fresh air vent for the fireplace. Now it goes to a soffit vent, which is an air intake vent. So there's two air intake vents. So it's getting air, but it's not supposed to get air from higher than the firebox. Now, manufacturer's installation instructions supersedes code. So if the manufacturer says it's okay to draw the combustible air for the fireplace from that vent, then that's fine. But until that happens, no. And the vent's not made very well. Right here, you can see the little angle on it. I'll come back and get a picture of that too. Now, when we're framing and we're coming in here, we're pounding nails, right? We're putting this thing together. Woo, man, we're missing some insulation right there where they knocked through the walls, where the kitchen modifications are. I can see the ceiling right in there and all that right there. Very interesting. Okay, so when we come in here, every board that's fastened, attached, every structural member should be attached, fastened with no fewer than 3 fasteners. If you got 2 fasteners, 2 nails, you can kind of get a teeter-totter effect. You got 3 nails in there, then it doesn't flex. Okay, you've triangulated it. You can put 6 nails in there, but at least 3. 3 is a minimum. So what are you? Where are you, little man? Where'd you go? Saw a little ant. I don't know what kind of ant. These water stains are pretty much typical. They could be coming from the roof. The roof's no spring chicken. But they're also pretty typical for, when this house was built, it was open, it rained. So we don't know when that happened. It's dry today. So we come along here, and well, we got enough nails over here, but we only got 2 nails. What's to keep it from teeter-tottering? They've got 5 nails over there. I guess they were making up for it. Come over here. 3 nails, 2 nails. What's going on? Now, thanks to redundancy, and I'm not in the habit of apologizing for my work, but due to redundancy, I guess, I mean, the house isn't going to fall down because you missed 1 or 2 nails here and there and everywhere. But, you know, it'd be nice if it had been done right. So we're moving on along. Already got the wall knocked out here. More wires. We got floating electric junction boxes. We have open electric junction boxes. That looks like drywall. I do not need to be standing on this. I don't know what this is. We've got open and floating electric junction boxes. And then over here, that's the primary bedroom suite wall, a closet, excuse me. And there's a hole right into there, and you can see that there's no insulation over the primary bedroom closet. Yeah, it just keeps getting better and better, doesn't it? Insulation's dirty. Now in this house, what kind of vents do we have? It feels kind of warm up here. We got radiant panel. We got passive exhaust box vents. And then we got soffit vents around the perimeter. And you know what I'm not seeing? I thought I saw some here somewhere. I could use it as an example. And maybe not. Maybe it was just wishful thinking. But they make these corrugated panels. And they slide down between the rafters to your soffit air intake vents to direct the air up through the attic so they can go out that vent. And without the baffles, then the air just drags across the insulation, called wind washing, filtering, call it what you like, and that's how it gets dirty like that, besides all the mouse dookie I see in there now. But that's how the insulation gets dirty. We didn't install our soffit baffles. You gonna let us go, bud? No, class isn't over. Now coming along here, well, I was trying to take the lazy way out. I guess it's not going to work. This light should have a protective cover on it so that I don't bump into it, or somebody like me, so that it doesn't get bumped into and broken, leaving somebody in the dark and possibly injured and creating a hazardous condition. There's supposed to be a cover on that. There's another passive vent, so we got 2 passive exhaust vents. I'm not sure if that's even enough, but right up in here, see the way this strut goes up here, and then right there where my light's shining, it's called palm bracing. And a lot of home inspectors, they get their panties all wadded up about that palm bracing. Well, you know, palm bracing, there's not a code about that. It says as long as it's transferring the load. And this also, by the way, I'm going to stand a little bit corrected here, because if I'm to trust the framing, and I don't do design, if I'm to trust the framing, then this is going to this hall wall. So this hall wall, I thought this one was the load-bearing wall. This one might be the load-bearing wall. But then we come across here, and then we created a transition. Well, not really. That's a beam. And that's a beam. So seeing this, that's a clue that it might be easier than we were thinking about opening this wall up to create, you know, to change the living space arrangement. And but I don't know. But that palm bracing is okay. some home inspectors are, I know I get off on a tangent. Palm bracing is transferring the load. That's where I got off. And then, home inspectors will come behind me and they'll go like, well, what about uplift? Well, that's what your collar ties are for. That's what your purlins are for. And that's what your rafter ties, rafter connections. We don't have rafter ties here. And we're not on the coast. So this part of the country, they weren't required when this home was built. This home was built today, we'd start doing it. I think I found... Is that one soffit baffle? I thought I saw one right in there, that little dark thing. They're usually wider than that. And you should have them everywhere you have a soffit vent. And you don't. Okay, so the palm bracing, I'm telling you, the palm bracing's okay. As long as it's supporting the load, right? That's the whole idea. It's supposed to be holding everything up. We come over here, and here's a palm brace. I saw you. There you are. Well, that palm brace looks like it's supporting the load. Where did I see you? There you are. Playing hide and seek. What about this palm brace over here? What about that guy? Are you supporting the load, sir? Let's take another look at it. Does that palm brace look like it's supporting the load? And I think it's lacking. I think it's lacking. Now they sell metal brackets, different companies, but Simpson Strong Tie is one of them. And but if this is a concern, then a few dollars will get you a metal brace that would come in there and reinforce that and make everybody happy. Everybody wants to be happy. Happy. Now, anytime you have a strut that's longer than 6 feet, it should have, some people call these T's, some people call them ties. Alright? Supposed to have one. You got one. This is what you're supposed to have. Uh-oh. We don't have one here. We don't have one here. And we don't have one here. We're missing 3 of them. Right here in a row. There goes that redundancy thing. It's going to allow it to become distorted and move out of position. Huh. Okay. There we go. Now I've also got, I mentioned about the spot over the primary bedroom closet. Moving on along. Up. More of the T's are missing. Oh, we can put one here, but we can't put one here. We can't put one here. We can't put one here. We can put one here, but we can't put one there. We can't put one there. We're missing a lot of the T's. They saved a lot of money on lumber. The more you look.